Hello students, let's recall what we learned in the last EVS class. In the last EVS class, we learned about mountaineering camp which is located in the state of Uttarakhand. And the name of the institute is Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarkashi. We also learned about a responsibility of a group leader while trekking and how Sangeeta madam finished a challenging task of crossing the river. So children, from chapter 9 up you go. Today's our topic is rock climbing and camp in the snow. Let's begin our class.
Up You Go, Part 2. Children, on 10 February 1984, Sangeeta Madam and her friends started rock climbing. They had to climb 15 kilometers to reach Tekla village. It was at a height of 1600 meters. Their rucksacks had all that they may need. Food packets, water bottle, rope, hook, plastic sheet, diary, torch, towel, soap, wind cheaters, whistle, glucose, jaggery, chana and some other snacks. They could see fruits and vegetables growing in the step fields. Children, as you can see in the picture, step fields means fields having steps because it is on hill or mountain. They saw Colonel Ram Singh standing on a 90 meters high flat rock with pegs and ropes. They had been told where they can put their hands and feet. Today, Sangeeta Madam stood first in the line. Her instructor started climbing as if he was running up. Sangeeta Madam also put her sling. But as she took her first step, she slipped. And there she was swinging from the rope. Keep your body at an angle of 90 degree while climbing, she heard. Keep your back straight. Do not bend. Keep that in mind. She imagined the rock as flat ground and started to climb up. Again, while coming down from the mountain, they had to use the rope in a special way called rappelling, as you can see in the picture. One day, a funny incident took place on 14 February 1984. It was evening and Kondobi was feeling hungry. She jumped over the fence and got into a field and quickly plucked two big cucumbers and came back. Just then, a woman came from behind and started saying something to Kondobi in her own language, and these two could not understand. By then, it was already dark and lost their way. Now they were really scared. The group had gone far ahead and they could not see anything even with their torches. Sangeeta Madam tightly held Kondobi's hand and started to whistle loudly and flashed torches. Kondobi felt that they should keep talking. She started singing a Mizo song loudly. At last, they were with the group again. On 15 February 1984, After dinner, they met a special guest, Bachendri Pal. She had just been selected as a part of the team to climb Mount Everest. She had come to seek the blessing of Brigadier Gyan Singh. At that time, they had no idea that Bachendri Pal would become the first Indian woman to reach Mount Everest and create history. On 18 February 1984, there was camp in the snow. They were standing at a height of 2134 meters. They were to spend the night there. Everyone was busy trying to put up the tent. They used double layered plastic sheets for the tent and for the ground. Then they dug a drain around the tent. They were feeling very hungry. They collected some firewood and stones to make a chulha and cooked some food. Soon they got into their sleeping bags. She was not sure if she would be able to sleep in it, but the bags were filled with soft feathers, which help in keeping them warm. They were all very tired, so very soon they fell asleep. The next morning they woke up and found that it was snowing. White, soft, fluffy snowflakes were gently falling. That day they were to climb higher to 2700 meters. By afternoon, they had reached snow covered mountains and enjoyed throwing snowballs at each other and making a big snowman. 21 February 1984 was the last day at camp. They were getting ready for the campfire. They were enjoying telling jokes, laughing, singing, and dancing around the campfire. Soon it was midnight. Brigadier Gyan Singh got up and called Sangeeta Madam and announced her name for the Best Performance Award. He blessed Sangeeta Madam and tears of joy rolled down her face. Now, children, let me tell you Alone on the Mountain Top. A 12-year-old girl living in the mountains was out on a school picnic. She climbed a mountain peak of 4,000 meters with her friends. Soon it was dark and they could not come down. It was cold and scary. Children, do you know who was that 12 years old girl? She was Bachendri Pal. Bachendri Pal grew up in Nakuri village in the Garhwal area of Uttarakhand. When she grew older, she joined Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttar Kashi. Her guide was Brigadier Gyan Singh. There were 7 women in that 18 members team and reached a height of 7,300 meters and were tired. The team put up their tents and went to sleep. Around midnight, they heard a loud sound and then a bang. There was a terrible snowstorm. Bachendri Pal was almost buried under the snow and was hurt on the head. Other team members were also injured and returned to the base camp, but Bachindri Pal went ahead. It was 7 minutes past 1 o'clock in the afternoon of 23rd May when Bachindri Pal stepped on to the peak of 8,900 meter high Mount Everest, also called Sagarmatha in Nepal. There was another team member with her. Both of them could not stand on the top at the same time. So they dug into the snow and pitched their eggs firmly in the ice. Using it as a hook, they tied themselves to it with a rope. And they could stand there. She bowed her head, pitched the national flag, and took photographs. Bachindri Pal put up the Indian flag on the peak to honor our country. She spent 43 minutes on the highest peak in the world. Bachindri Pal became the first Indian woman and the fifth woman in the world to reach the peak of Mount Everest. So, children, here I end explanation of Chapter 9 Up You Go Part 2.